Skipped yet another day of this special legislative session in Austin, Texas, in an effort to stop Republicans from redrawing congressional maps. These new maps could add 5 new House Republican seats. Last hour, I spoke with the Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who slammed Democrats for taking this standoff into week 2.
What these Democrats have done, they have turned their back on the people of the state of Texas. For one, it is gutless for Democrats to cut and run. That's anti-Texan. Ever since the time of the Alamo, Texans have stood and fought their ground. Here, Democrats are fleeing like a bunch of chickens. Average Texans who are watching this show, they have to show up to work. If they don't show up to work, they could get fired. These Democrats think they are above that.
With me now, Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. And Congresswoman, just to remind our viewers, you were a member of the Texas State House back in 2021. You're in the U.S. House now, but you were a state legislator, and you were part of the crew that fled the state in an attempt to block voting restrictions in Texas. What do you make of Governor Abbott's argument that that is not what Texans do? It's gutless, it's cut and run, you're fleeing like chickens, you need to show up to do your job the way most Texans do, et cetera. What's your response?
The only weakling in this equation is the governor himself. It's not Texans that elected the governor to the governor's mansion that asked him to do this. It is the criminal that is currently serving in the White House that begs for him to do this. So let me tell you something. I can guarantee you that Gene Wu's district has not called in and said that he is not representing them or their voices. In fact, it's just the opposite. And I know that my governor may not have practiced law too recently, but I would like to inform him, if he cares to know, that our Texas Constitution specifically provides for being able to break quorum. That is in our Constitution. So as far as I'm concerned, these folk that decided that they were going to break quorum are more Texan and more American than the governor and the president himself.
There is some critical items on the special session agenda: flood relief for Texas Hill Country, where more than 100 people died over the 4th of July weekend. What's your response to those Republicans who are blaming Democrats for holding up this relief by not showing up and allowing a quorum?
Yeah, so first of all, those Republicans should show up and do their job every single day. They're the ones that knew that this area had flooded before, yet there were not provisions in place. In fact, one of the representatives for that area voted against a bill that would have allowed for additional monies for infrastructure in that area. The local electeds in that area decided to reject money from the Biden-Harris campaign. I can tell you one thing about Democrats is that we show up for everybody. Once we are elected, then we understand what it is to govern. And we don't pick winners and losers based upon your political affiliation. Unfortunately, the local electeds failed those people. And unfortunately, their state electeds failed those people. But I will also say that it wasn't flood relief that they brought to the floor quickly. It was absolutely focused on bringing together a bill that would decimate people's voices, Black and brown voices, which make up a majority of the state. That is what they decided to do. They had an opportunity. They did not force forward with a bill on flood relief. Instead, what they pushed forward with was redistricting at the will of the Attorney General, who said this was about race.